Hello my friends, and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 class guide. Hope you're all doing well. Today we're continuing taking a look at the new classes added in the 1.1 update with the Vampire. This is a class that I've seen a lot of people are struggling with, and that is not a surprise to me because this character has maybe the single worst downside in all of Brotato. Max HP modifications are reduced by 50%. This is a massive penalty that makes it extremely difficult to make this character survivable. To make matters worse, we have minus 30% damage, a pretty dangerous penalty in and of itself, and cannot use HP regeneration at all, thanks to the minus 100 we have from that, and can't regain health from consumables with the minus 100 from that. Now, it's worth noting that when I first saw this tooltip in the original version of this character, it was only minus 10. They've since adjusted it to minus 100. I thought this meant that the consumables killed you. They don't. It just means that you don't heal from the consumables. To make up for those huge downsides, we have a bunch of upsides that are based on us having missing health. We gain damage, 1% damage for every 1% of missing health, 1% lifesteal for every 3%, and 1 armor for every 5%. So as we get lower in health, we gain healing and we gain armor, which makes the max HP modifications, makes our low max HP less dangerous because we're going to have increased armor and increased lifesteal as we get low in HP. But still very dangerous because we can get like 1 or 2 shot. The natural weapon for this character seems to be the new weapon that was added, the Sharp Tooth, which gives you additional damage as you lose health and scales its base damage off of our lifesteal. So we'll scale its damage as we lose health and gain lifesteal. This is a super fun and powerful way to play the character, but really, really risky because you have to play at very low health. And this is, I think, the way most people are trying it and struggling a lot when they're playing the Vampire. There's actually a secret, better weapon that works significantly better for this character because it gives us the defenses we need while still scaling our damage immensely. That weapon is the Spiky Shield. Spiky Shield scales off of our armor, which we gain as we lose HP, so that's going to increase our damage output, and this does scale off of non-permanent armor, so temporary armor that we gain will still scale our Spiky Shield damage, and with the medieval and blunt weapon tags gives us the defenses we need to survive, even with very low max HP. So we're going to use the Spiky Shield, and I will show you that the Vampire actually is not as hard as it looks like at first. We're going to walk into enemies to take damage, because that increases our damage output. Now, we obviously don't really need to do this wave 1, where enemies' health is very low, but it's worth getting used to lowering your health deliberately on this character to trigger your HP passives. 55 with 1 on the ground is not a bad start for this character. Spiky Shield's a good level 1 weapon, so we should have decent wave clear, and we were able to pick up 55 with 1 on the ground. Average for most characters is between 54 and 56, so perfect amount of level 1 income. We're going to pick up 5 harvesting here, because when you see harvesting, you should usually start with harvesting. We would take armor as well, because we do want to boost our armor significantly, but harvesting, of course, will help us level up, which will be very good for this character also. We're going to roll for more Spiky Shields, and we're going to lock this Broken Mouth. 2.5 max HP for 28 is fine for this character. We have to buy max HP even despite the penalty. It's very important that we do so, so we're going to be buying max HP even more aggressively than on other characters, and then multiplying that with our very high armor and dodge chance in order to make this character as survivable as possible. I would say this is a very good first chop, because we were able to find 3 shields and lock another one, and lock 2 good items, so let's move on to level 2, and a rule of thumb when playing the Vampire is I think you want to try to stay at about 50% health. Now, in the early waves, this won't matter that much because we'll have the damage to kill the enemies regardless. But if we're at 50%-ish health, that will give us the lifesteal and armor that we need to survive, and the damage we need to clear enemies without putting us at too much risk of just dying outright. Attack speed, lifesteal, and dodge are all fine stats here, but I'm going to roll to see if we can find armor or harvesting, and we did find a level 2 harvesting upgrade, which is great. Then we're going to roll for more shields, And, wow, we're definitely running a little over average here in terms of how many shields we found. 5 with a 6th locked is pretty good. Normally you might expect 4 with a 5th locked, but we did get a little bit lucky there, so I will take it. Currently don't have to take any damage to be one-shotting these enemies, but as the enemies get stronger, we will. And so you can see I took some damage there as the floaters and the chargers start spawning to make sure that we're killing those guys in one hit as well. Since our lifesteal goes up as we take damage, we do have to take a couple hits every once in a while to maximize our income. And then here, I'm again going to reroll for more armor or more harvesting. Because we have 15 harvesting, I'm going to take the harvesting here. That way we can maybe hit the 21 mark very soon. And we did, in fact, find 5 more, so I'm very happy to grab that. Take the spiky shield here. Gentle Alien versus Peaceful Bee is an interesting question. We can't buy both, right? Yeah, that would cost us 60. So which of these will give us more money overall? I think the answer is that the Peaceful Bee earlier is going to give us more money, so I will buy that. And then that lets us also afford the Broken Mouth, actually. So yeah, that was just a better set of purchases. If I'd had 1 more money here, I would definitely reroll to try to find another spiky shield, but this works out pretty well. And we're already up to 12 HP. Count them. I meant to take that hit from the shooter there. We want to take at least 1 hit early to boost our damage output. Try to have enough damage that we 1 or 2 shot the floaters and helmet aliens by reducing our HP. Head over here and pick up that crate. One challenge for this character, of course, is we are a spiky shield build, so our speed is low. We're a little bit slow at moving from enemy to enemy. Since we got so much harvesting on this version of the build, we're doing pretty well, but overall we're going to need to address that at some point. In order to maximize our wave clear. Speed gives you more money because you could move between enemies more easily. I will definitely take the propeller hat for bonus luck, and now that we've got 31 harvesting, do I want to roll for more armor? I could also just pick up lifesteal, or dodge, both of which are stats that we want. I think at this early stage I will still just take 8 more harvesting, and then we'll just go ahead and take an 8% damage upgrade as well. This character starts with a damage penalty, and while we do build damage over time during the wave, the more damage we increase, the faster we're going to get to positive damage and maximize our damage output, so important to build percent damage on this character as well. Take the spiky shield and the gentle alien there to maximize my income, and then we're going to take the metal plate, because this will increase our damage output and survivability, and then lock another spiky shield. This run is going pretty well so far, I would say. The only thing we're really missing is like bag, coupon, or fertilizer, the sort of premier economy items in the game. But we found Gentle Alien, we found our weapon sets, so I definitely cannot complain. You might be wondering why we want to build dodge on this character. Because we have low max HP, so normally you want dodge to... Dodge it effectively multiplies your max HP, so it works better on characters with more max HP. And we want to take hits. But just like with a lot of the other characters that want to take damage, it's still good to build dodge on those characters often, because it doesn't really prevent you from taking damage, it just makes it easier to not take lots of damage all in a row. If you move into a group of enemies, you'll still take a hit. And with this character, because we're building tons of armor and tons of healing, the dodge is multiplying those stats. So even though our max HP is relatively low, the dodge is still very effective on this character. Do I want lifesteal, harvesting, or a different stat here? We are still on wave 5, so yeah, I'm just going to build a lot of harvesting, I think. Since we're being given the option, we'll just get a little greedy. Buy another spiky shield, maximizing my damage output as much as possible. Butterfly will give us more healing, and it is important to build lifesteal on this character. And other forms of healing if we can find them. Since we can't use consumables, which is how melee characters usually heal, and we can't use regeneration, which is how melee characters usually heal, we need to have healing. Even though we get lifesteal as we lose health, it's important to start with some to make sure that we can constantly heal. I will definitely buy the tree here, and then we'll lock the gecko and the metal plate. Do I want to roll once to see if I can lock another shield while we're still guaranteed a weapon in the shop? I think I do. I missed. 2 swords is kind of fun. That would still give us the medieval weapon tag, but then we'd have to build melee damage to make use of them, so we're not going to buy the swords. I think that was the first time I rolled looking for a shield and didn't find one, so I'm not going to start complaining too much now. You'll notice that as we take hits, the amount of damage we take per hit decreases. So even though we're playing at 15 HP, we can still play with relative safety while playing this character, because as we take a hit, the per hit damage decreases thanks to our armor increasing, and our healing gets better. So as long as we stay around half health, we're not really in danger of dying at this stage. The real challenge for this character... I didn't break that tree. I'm going to miss one of those 2 trees. I had to decide between the 2 trees. The real challenge for this character is going to be elites, because those will do enough damage to bypass our armor, so we're going to need to build our character in such a way that we can survive those. 6% dodge would be nice. 7% crit chance isn't bad either. Crit chance is pretty good on spiky shields, because they do have 2x damage on critical hits. I think I am just going to buy the crit chance here. I could roll for like attack speed, armor, or dodge, but I think the crit chance is good enough. And now I think it's time to stop buying harvesting. I'm going to roll here. I'm looking for attack speed, which we have none of, but I'll take movement speed as well, because movement speed that'll bring us to positive movement speed, which is great. Take the gecko here and the metal plate. Cyberball we're going to skip because we just don't have the luck or percentage damage to make use of it right now. Helmet I will take, though, of course, increasing my damage and armor. And Cute Monkey is a very good way for this character to heal. It's one of the few ways we can heal, so we can boost our healing significantly with Cute Monkey. The wheelbarrow will increase our harvesting. It does cost me armor, which is a little painful, but we're going to pick that up. And the defective steroids is good as well. Decomposing Flesh, which is the unique item that you get for winning with the vampire, gives you 1 lifesteal whenever you level up, but -1 max HP when you level up. Obviously, that's only half a max HP for this character. I think we actually do not want to take it, though, because our max HP is so critical. This is going to cost us like 5 total max HP for 10% lifesteal, and I just don't think that's a trade we actually want to make on this character. I will say I really like the design of this character, though it does feel like it's geared pretty heavily towards more veteran players. But I don't love the design of that item, and I hope it gets a rework or change during the beta period, because I think you want to avoid it on the character that unlocks it. And I much prefer when characters can use their unique items effectively. Ideally, it would have special synergy with the vampire, not be bad for them. We're letting the big slashers hatch because we're a melee character, so we don't really give up wave clear to be fighting them, and they were newly buffed to drop 4 materials each. So you can see we made 300 materials, wave 7, which is pretty good. Then I'll take 9 max HP here. I do want to get my max HP up to like 35 or 40 before we face the elite, so I'm buying it as much as I can. Take the wheelbarrow. I will take the defective steroids. Cost me attack speed, which is a stat that we want, for only 1 HP, but 1 HP is really important on this character. That being said, I will still buy the injection just to make sure that our wave clear is keeping up. And then let's roll some more here. I'm looking for more max HP, and especially attack speed is something that I would really like to have. Triangle of Power we definitely cannot afford on this character, because we're going to be taking constant hits since we're a spiky shield build, so we're not buying that. Blindfold we will buy, and another spiky shield I will buy as well. Weird Food and Lemonade, normally high picks, but obviously you avoid them on this character because we're not going to reach positive consumable healing anytime soon. Maybe in a really long vampire endless run, you would take those items and try to get to positive values. Making sure to take a few hits here and there and stay at low-ish health. I want to stay, again, around 50% HP to maximize my wave clear. When I take too much damage, though, I do need to start dodging a little bit. And because we are a spiky shield build, so we're a short-range-ish melee build with relatively slow movement speed, I do want to be a little bit careful because we can definitely get ourselves in a bad situation if I take a couple hits in a row. We are still playing with low health, but since our defenses are so good thanks to the shield build, we are able to mitigate that effect somewhat. Still making great income thanks to our early harvesting. 5% attack speed. I think we can do better. I'm going to reroll here, and I'll just take 2 armor. 3% lifesteal would be nice as well, but we're going to grab the armor, and then let's roll again. Here, I'm going to take the lifesteal over the luck or the speed. We will combine here and buy another shield, buy a blindfold, increasing our damage and dodge. We're up to 15 dodge, which isn't amazing, but is getting there. Then we're going to roll. Spicy sauce we're going to buy because this is a way to increase my max HP, and I will roll one more time to try to lock something. Metal detector's probably worth buying at this stage. It'll be a decent amount of bonus money and luck. Luck is definitely worse for this character than for other characters, since we can't heal off consumables, but still worth buying because crates are good, and level up, increased quality of our level ups is good, and high level items can be pretty, there are some that are really good for us. But mostly it's because one of the easiest ways to increase your maximum HP is to buy the +9 HP level ups if you see them when you level. So having increased luck gives us a higher chance of that happening, as well as we're also finding crates. So even though we can't heal off consumables, it's still worth picking up luck for the vampire. You can see here, I'm still just trying to stay at around 50% to 2/3 HP to maximize my income and maximize my damage output, and we're now making quite good income. We actually bought some critical hit chance, and Tentacle is another great way for this character to heal, because it's one that's not affected by any of our penalties. I'm going to recycle the campfire, because we don't use those stats, and we'll go ahead and buy 3 more armor here. I will also take 12% damage, which boosts our damage, our base damage almost to 0, which then of course increases when we tank damage. Buy a spicy sauce, going up to 27 HP, metal detector and beanie. Another tentacle is great. Wheelbarrow I will take. I'm a little nervous because I've decreased my damage and HP a little bit before going into the elite wave. These are all sort of economy and speculative items that I've bought, not just raw stats, so I do need to pay attention to that. I'll take the broken mouth, though, for sure. Blood donation we're definitely not taking. This is one that this character cannot afford. You might think it would be good because we want to take damage, but the blood donation damage ticks are not affected by any of our armor or regeneration or anything, so we are relying solely on our lifesteal and tentacle healing to regenerate those, and if we take a hit and go down to like 10 HP and then don't heal quickly, the blood donation can just kill us outright. So I really think you should avoid this on this character, even though it looks like it might have some synergy. Grab this and this. The celery tea, which is a fun pun, and it's the item you get from winning with the baby, gives us XP gain. Right now we have none, and XP gain is pretty good for this character, but plus 100% enemy health during wave 11 is going to be really difficult to deal with, since that's the ribcage wave, so we're going to not be able to kill those guys, so we're going to pass on that. I will also pass on Blood Leech. 2% lifesteal for 94 I don't think is worth it. My main thing that I want now, we don't usually plan to kill the elites on this character, unless we find like a ton of armor and attack speed and stuff, and this character has no attack speed currently. If we found like community support to fix our attack speed, maybe we would, or Retromation's hoodie, maybe we would plan to kill the elite. But what we want really is just more armor, max HP, and dodge chance before we fight the elite in 2 waves, in order to make it as easy as possible to survive. And you can see now that we've gotten a bit of armor and our max HP is higher, we've gotten some lifesteal and stuff, especially once we get a little more attack speed, we'll be able to just exist inside all of the big groups of enemies, maximizing our wave clear and damage output. So this character will end up being more or less invincible thanks to the damage output that we get. This is our level 15 upgrade, so we're guaranteed a level 3. I'm going to roll. I'm looking for armor or health, I think, here. 9 dodge is also tempting, but I think I want to roll again. Yeah, 3 armor is too valuable for this character. Take the fertilizer, that's still going to pay off, and I'll take the metal plate. Do I want the scar? This is much later than I would normally buy scar, but scar was recently buffed. It's a lot cheaper now, and this character really wants levels because that's one of the best ways to gain XP. So I think I will take the scar even this late on the vampire. I'm still experimenting with this item after the new buff, so I'll be interested to see where I land on it after a while. Obviously, upgrading my shields here. We'll take a lure. Can't use the regeneration, but it's still just going to be good economy for us. And then roll again, which lets us buy another shield and lock a blindfold. Going on to wave 11 here. 30 HP is definitely less than I want before we fight the elite, so I'm hoping to find some good HP items. Trying to tank a few hits to make it easier to kill the rib cages quickly. You can see there I got a little bit low on health for where I want. 10 HP is definitely less than I want to have, so need to be a little bit careful. Our armor, of course, is good, but because my max HP isn't that high, the first hit we take before we've built armor by having low HP is going to be a lot of damage, and that gets us actually to very low health right off the start, which makes it hard to keep our health at a reasonable level. You know, run around there and kill that loot alien, and then we'll run over here, try to pin that one against the wall, take it out. We will break all these trees, try to kill the ranged enemies because they have a higher chance of dropping crates. Our income's still holding pretty steady at this point. Baby elephant, when it's offered in a crate, I guess I'll pick up. There's a chance we grab a lot of luck somehow, and it's only 16 materials. Book is never going to be useful. Sometimes you want to take this item for fairy, because it can be an item that you don't have, a level 1 item that you don't have to give you fairy regeneration, but since this character can't use regeneration, we can safely pass on the book here. Yeah, I will actually take 15 luck, I think, for our baby elephant, although maybe I just need to roll for health, or just take the 3 health. I think I am actually going to roll for health or armor. 6 dodge. I think I will pass on that and roll one more time, and yeah, I'll take 6 max HP. I just really want to have a little more max HP before we go into the elite wave, because that's the thing that we're missing the most. Attack speed is still really good here, and range is actually pretty good for spiky shields, which is a low-range weapon, so I will take the banner. We just need to buy some attack speed because we had none. And losing 1.5 max HP for the leather vest, definitely not great, but 2 armor and 6 dodge will still make us harder to kill, so I will pick up the leather vest, lock the dangerous bunny, and we're going to go fight the elite. I want to just avoid this elite, and luckily we got one that's relatively easy to just avoid, because I just don't think that we have the damage to kill it. And with this character, even more than every other character, you really want to commit to whether you're trying to kill the elite or not right away. I think maybe I could have gone for the kill on the elite. I mean, our damage isn't bad, it's just not amazing. And with only 32 max health, I just really don't want to risk putting myself in a bad situation and just getting, like, 2-tapped by the elite, which is very easy to do on this character. So we're backing off, we're healing off of our lifesteal, we're trying to kill these loot aliens. I think there's still another one, unless it despawned. Oh no, that was the same one, it just got healed up to full. I saw that it took a long time to kill it, so I was like, The other loot alien must have vanished. We actually got another one. But it was the same one, just there was a healer on the map that healed it back to full. Ended up not killing the elite and missed out on 2 loot aliens, or missed out on 1 loot alien, but we survived. And that's the important part, and our damage will continue to accelerate, so we'll be able to fight the other elites later on. Very happy to get Gentle Alien, exactly what we need. 3 armor here. I'm going to reroll. I'm looking for, I guess, 3 armor. I'll certainly take that. Take a bag and a Dangerous Bunny, and then reroll. Coffee, amazing find for us. This is exactly what this character needed. Boosting our attack speed is so important, and we had not been able to do it yet. Then I will take the bat. Although we do lose 2 harvesting, lifesteal is very good for us. Compass here for 5% speed, -3 crit chance. I think we can pass on. I'd rather buy more efficient speed items for us, but we will definitely buy a shield. Continuing to pass on decomposing flesh. Hunting trophy will definitely pay for itself. We've got 23 crit chance, so 26% chance of critical hits. So the hunting trophy is actually going to be very good here. And it pays off that we spent some money on critical hit items earlier because we rolled into the hunting trophy. Again, trying to tank a little bit of damage to get our stats online early. One easy way to do that is by walking into the slashes or the projectiles, since we can't kill them or knock them away before they can hurt us. And as you can see here, we now have enough armor regeneration and an okay level of max HP where we can pretty much just charge directly into groups of enemies and expect to be fine. We're not at the point of 100% impunity yet, but we will get there pretty soon as long as our stats keep accelerating. And that's what I really like about the spiky shield build on this character, is you get to just wade into big groups of enemies, which makes the low HP much less punishing. Next wave is the real test for this build, though, so we're not out of the woods yet. I'm going to recycle the black belt. We are at the point where we already have XP gain, and it's already going into wave 14. Let's reroll here. I think we can do better than a level 1 health upgrade. And do I want attack speed? I'll just take some movement speed. That's going to help us a lot when we're facing all the summons and the elite in this upcoming wave. Metal plate I will take, and gambling token I will also take. 30% dodge will be nice for our survivability. Then we'll buy another metal plate and another hunting trophy. Already made 44 off it, and that'll just improve. Fairy, normally a great item to find, but not useful for this character, but we'll buy a spiky shield upgrade. And a bat. Not exactly the items I wanted to buy going into this elite wave. I'd have really liked to boost my HP, but you just have to buy the shops that you get, and we should have the HP and regeneration to survive fighting this elite. Now, I am going to try to see if we have the damage to kill it, and I think we do, as long as I can consistently tank a little bit, but not too much. And the reason I want to try to kill this elite is because we're on wave 14, so we're going to have a lot of enemies putting out shots all over the map. So if we can kill the elite to avoid having to dodge constantly, that will be really good for us. And just sort of pin the elite in the corner when you're fighting this elite. That's what you want. Also, notice that if you stand perfectly still against this elite, the slashes almost never spawn directly underneath you. So you can actually just remain motionless with it pinned in the corner, provided that you have the wave clear to kill the other things on the map and all the summons. So we were able to kill that elite. We just kind of bullied it. And then we're going to run around clearing these trees before the end of the wave. Didn't quite get there, but you can see we made 900 materials because we kept the enemy alive the entire wave. And our amazing amounts of armor, dodge, and lifesteal kept us alive no matter what the enemies threw at us. That was actually one of the most fun elite fights I've ever had. Anvil, amazing find, of course. Spiky Shield upgrades really well, so very happy to be able to upgrade it. Then we'll take some more max HP. Weird Ghost is pretty dangerous for this character because you do have to heal using... you can't just regenerate from the Weird Ghost, but I think we can still afford to buy Weird Ghost. I will actually buy the medical turret as well. That will help with our weird ghost, just to make sure that we don't like die in one shot there. Take the peaceful bee, the duct tape, and the helmet, and then roll. A spiky shield upgrade. So when you have anvil, you always have to look at what's going to be the most ticks of anvil. So if I sell the level 1 shield, so basically we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ticks to maximize upgrading our weapons with anvil, because we get one every shop. If I sell the level 1 shield and buy the level 2, then we would have only 6 ticks. If I combine 2 level 3s to make a level 4 and have two 3s, a 1, and a 2, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 again. So what we're going to do is just sell the level 1 shield and buy the level 2 to minimize the number of times the anvil needs to tick to maximize our weapon levels. Buy the tree, and I will buy more move speed, and then roll. Again, this level 1 spiky shield doesn't do anything for us. Sad Tomato is actually kind of interesting for this character. Obviously, you can't use the regeneration, but it starts you at low health, which makes your damage output right off the start higher. I don't think it's worth spending 130 on, but can be interesting for this character. Take the lure. The baby elephant plan hasn't really worked out, so we'll pass on that. And then we will buy this spiky shield. Crown, at this late stage, it would only have 4 chances to tick, so I think we're going to pass on it. If I'd found it, like, even 1 wave earlier, it would have been good, but Crown is not going to be amazing for us here. Poisonous Tonic, of course, we want, and then I do have to remember that we have the Weird Ghost, so I need to not die when we enter this wave. I'm going to move over to my medical turret, just to gain a couple hit points right away. We bought the medical turret in part for just insurance with the Weird Ghost, which obviously isn't, like, efficient in and of itself. But medical turret is not a bad item for us to have regardless, since this character, every point of HP is so valuable on this character, thanks to our incredible defenses, that medical turret's 3 healing consistently is very worth it on this character, and it gives us a way to heal that doesn't involve having to actually hit enemies for lifesteal. See, we've got lots of enemies on the field to trigger hunting trophies off of. Oh, nice. Another loot alien spawn. We had a lure, but getting 3 loot aliens is a little lucky there. Oh, a 4th. Can I kill it in time? No. Single target damage is always a challenge for spiky shields because you have super high knockback, but we were able to get it anyways. I'm going to recycle the barricade. I don't want to lose speed. I will recycle the chameleon, I think. Although, we're getting close to dodge cap. Maybe I'll just take the chameleon. The dodge while standing still isn't good, but 4% damage for 3 dodge I think is actually worth it. Recycle a cog here. I'm going to roll. Can we get a higher level upgrade, please? We can, and I will take 7 crit chance because we have 2 hunting trophies. Leather vest, still definitely worth buying for this character, but muscly dude as well. Jelly is only half an HP, but honestly, half an HP is worth buying for this, for the vampire, so we will buy it. Another weird ghost, I think we will pick up also. And I just have to remember that we've got it. The wheelbarrow gives us 16 harvesting for 115 with only 4 waves remaining to pay off, so we're not going to buy the wheelbarrow because it cost me armor as well. Triangle of Power will pass on. I don't think we need a second medical turret, so I'll pass on that also. Keep rolling. Rolling again. Again, the spiky shield purchase here is not worth it. It's the same number of ticks for the anvil, so it doesn't actually accelerate anything. Let's roll again. Fairy doesn't do anything. Turret doesn't do anything. Glass cannon. We do have 36 armor, so this is a decrease to our base damage, but an increase to our percent damage. I think that's probably worth picking up. And then we're not going to reroll for 43. Moving over to our medical turret right off the start, just to gain a little bit of safety HP, and then we're going to want to kill these brain bugs so that they can't buff all the enemies. Huge damage instances are one way that you can lose, of course, because your armor can't necessarily protect you from all of the buffed enemy damage at once, so very important to clear the buffers on this level. But you can see now that with our cute monkey, with our tentacles, with our medical turret, and with our high lifesteal, we are basically invincible. We're just sort of wading into all these groups of enemies and killing them immediately without taking any meaningful damage. Once we're past the sort of risky early game, we got past the first elite, we got past the wave 14 elite, this character becomes really hard to lose with because of the incredible defensive options that we've built up on it. Piggy bank, if we'd found this earlier, it might have been quite good, because there were a couple waves where we had to save some materials between waves. For 30, I think it might still pay for itself, so I'm going to pick this up. I'm curious to see if it does. The potato, obviously excellent. We can't use the regeneration, but all of these other stats are amazing for us, and then we will take 3 more armor. This spiky shield upgrade, of course, is worth it. It's going to make it fewer ticks for our anvil before the anvil starts giving us armor, which, of course, is going to buff the shields even more. Bag will still pay for itself. Lucky Charm is probably worth it at this stage. We will roll. Vigilante Ring is only going to tick 3 times, so it's 9% damage, but 9% damage is probably worth it, and then I will buy the Whetstone as well. Flamethrower is actually kind of interesting for this character also. We have tons of lifesteal, so this could just give us infinite healing off of our lifesteal from Flamethrower because it attacks so fast. I don't think we need it at this stage, though, so I'm going to pass on it. But I did want to mention that if you're struggling with healing on this character, the Flamethrower, combined with the vampire's inherent lifesteal, can actually just solve that problem for you. Where's all the enemies? There's no enemies spawning on this wave. Definitely want to kill the buffers before they buff too many of these rib cages, because they are very hard to take down once they've been buffed. They have lots of health and do lots of damage. More attack speed would be kind of my #1 priority at this point, because that'll make killing the elites, the remaining elite, and the bosses much faster. And while we're definitely over the hump on this build, we're not totally out of the woods. We're not, I guess that's 2 metaphors in the same sentence. We are not at the point where we can just cruise to victory, because the boss could still definitely kill us. I'll just take 8% damage here. I think that's fine. Extra stomach, this is probably going to be like 5 or so max HP total, but I think that's still worth it on this character. We'll take the lifesteal. I'm actually going to roll past the Lucky Charm because we're going into an elite wave. I want things that are going to increase my damage or survivability. The level 4 Flamethrower, also kind of interesting again. But we'll take the metal here, and I will take Missile. Do I want 3 crit chance for -half in HP? Crit chance is really good for us with our tentacles and hunting trophies. And it will be more DPS against the boss. I think the Claw Tree actually is kind of good to buy there. And then we can't buy anything, and I've got a piggy bank, so we'll just save our money. So let's walk into it, tank a little bit of damage, and then, yeah, if we can fight it over here near our medical turret, that would be ideal. I did take a few more hits than I meant to there, so I'm going to back off to the medical turret and just heal up with our lifesteal and on-kill healing. Then walk in and take a hit. Of course, we need to predict how much damage we're going to take, which is somewhat random because we have dodge, but it's still better to have the dodge to keep us alive when we get into those dangerous scenarios. And there we go. We have built enough armor and enough damage output that we were able to kill the elite very quickly. And with the elite dead, there's nothing on this map that can threaten us, so we're just going to sort of wander around the middle of it, killing things. Gnome doesn't do anything, so we're going to recycle it. Baby elephant, we have very low luck at this point, so I'm just going to recycle it. The amount of damage that we're getting from it just doesn't matter. We're now maxed out on our weapon set. Let's roll again. Acid will cost me 2% dodge, but 4 HP is definitely worth it, so we're going to buy it. Adrenaline, this is another way to heal that doesn't involve actually having regeneration or consumable healing, so another awesome item for this character. Also gets us almost to dodge cap. Warrior helmet, amazing. Ugly tooth, I will lock. We don't need it for this wave, but for next wave it will help when we're fighting the bosses, slowing them down and making them easier to target. So a normal character at this stage would have 108 HP, which is exactly what you would want. Actually, a little bit more than what you need. And a little more than what you would want on a normal character is exactly what this character wants to buy, because you do want to just prioritize buying max HP a little bit more heavily than you do on most other characters. But now we've got our dodge, lifesteal, armor, etc. all online, and so the enemies are just not really able to do anything to us at this point. And I can kind of just sort of wander around in the middle of the largest group that I can find to maximize my wave clear. See a tree spawning down in the bottom right here, so we'll get that. And made 1,000 on wave 19. I think I'm just going to take 6 HP here rather than the damage output. Either would be good, but this will just give us the most, I think, safety when we go into the boss fight. Roll here. I'll take a coffee. Lure, actually not terrible when you're going into elite fights with a lifesteal build, because it just guarantees that there are things for you to lifesteal off of. I think we can do a little better, but it's not totally useless. Medical regeneration. This medkit, this is one way I guess we could get enough regeneration if we'd bought a lot. Bean Teacher would have been nice earlier, but since we didn't get it, of course, we won't be using it. Take the leather vest, and then roll. Torture, this is another way that you can heal on this character. It gives you a lot of HP. This is actually not bad for the vampire, and one to keep an eye out for, especially if you're struggling with your lifesteal. The Torture could solve that problem. Because we're going into a boss wave, I'm going to skip on the Weird Ghost. We'll just play it safe here, and then roll again. Still nothing that we really want. I guess now I'm going to take the Lure, because just having something to lifesteal off of, and we'll take the Blood Leech. I could, keep rolling for 100 materials at a time to see if we find something better, but we won't, so we're just going to pick up the 2 items that are sort of marginally helpful. We're over dodge cap, we have almost 50 armor, and we're going into wave 20, so let's see how we do. Walking over to the elites and tanking a hit, just to get my damage online a little bit here. And we're just going to DPS down the bosses as quickly as we can. We have amazing lifesteal, so we are able to stay at full health. And with our 50 armor, they only do 9 damage to me at a time, meaning that we're very, very safe against bosses and can kill them quite quickly. So there you go, my friends. That is the vampire. Really enjoyed that run, and I think that this character, once you know the secret of the spiky shields, is pretty straightforward to win with. There's also a lot of really cool builds you can do where you are playing one hit from death at all times, but this, if you are just looking to get your Danger 5 win, this is going to be by far the easiest way. A couple important things. We did find a bunch of harvesting early, so that was great for this character with a double Peaceful Bee and some Gentle Alien, so we got good economy items. We made 300 healing off the cute monkeys, 400 healing off the tentacles, so those were obviously great. 630 materials off the bags, and 240 off the metal detector. 841 off the hunting trophies. So you can see all of those paid for themselves super well. Anvil upgraded all of our stuff. Extra Stomach gave us 6 total max HP after it was divided by 2. And the piggy bank did just barely pay for itself because of the times that we stopped with some materials in the bank. Alright, my friends, I hope that you enjoyed this look at the vampire, and I hope that it helps you get your vampire win if you're still looking to get that. And, of course, as always, if you have enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out a ton with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And, of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato class guides, wacky builds with the new items and weapons, which are coming up soon, and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, my friends. I'll catch you next time.